We have got the Taliban spokesperson Suhail Shaheen on the phone line. So just very quickly, we'd like to take him on. Brother Suhail, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome and Jazakallah khairan so much that you are able to join us. And obviously, we have been talking about, for the last 2 hours or so, we've been reflecting on 9/11 and the impact on Afghanistan and the Muslim world at large. And I'm glad that you are able to join us. Now, obviously, 20 years later, I think with a lot of joy, many of us have seen the Taliban return to power. And just to get your reflections on what these 20 years have meant for the Taliban, and since they were taken out of power, and now that they have returned back in the seat of power and ruling Afghanistan.
Yes, in 9/11, no Afghan was involved, and neither they have approved participation of any Afghan in that incident. And even in 2001, when that incident happened, I was the deputy ambassador of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan in Islamabad, Pakistan. We tried to resolve this issue peacefully and through talks. But the other side, the American side, and others, they were not ready. They were intending to invade the country. So they invaded the country. While at that time we were telling, if you come to Afghanistan, you will complicate the issue more. And one day you will have to talk and to resolve the issue through negotiation. Why not now? If you are going to resolve it through talks after huge destruction and bloodshed. But they invaded Afghanistan, and that exactly happened. We fought our people, our nation for 20 years for our liberation, and at least the Americans, they concluded, they came to the conclusion that the Afghan issue has no military solution. And they contacted us here at the political office based in Doha, Qatar. And we talked for 18 months, or had negotiation for 18 months. And the result was the Doha agreement. And on the basis of that, they withdrew from the country.
Yes, Jazakallah. And just obviously looking at where we are at this point in time as the Taliban, and we have learned about the cabinet being announced and going forward, looking at, the issue of obviously forming the government, but also at the same time addressing some of the challenges that Afghanistan faced at this point in time. We know of all the damage that has been done to the country, the poverty. We're talking about widows, we're talking about orphans, and just looking at some of these challenges and trying to overcome some of these challenges, Brother Suhail.
Yes, well, you are right. We ended the occupation, but we are facing other challenges. You already mentioned. But we hope that with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and our hardworking people, we will overcome all these challenges facing our people. But at the same time, we call on international communities, other countries, to help us in this critical time that Afghan people are passing through. So because the Afghan, there is 70% of the Afghan people living under the line of poverty. So there is huge unemployment. So we need to create employment opportunities for our people. We need to start mega projects, infrastructure projects, and we need to start like big projects like railway line, which is to connect South Asia to Central Asia. So but that need money. So there, I think if there is an international donors conference, which announced their donation assistance, financial assistance for the people of Afghanistan that would build peace in our country because now they will be helping the people of Afghanistan, not they will be paying for the war, but rather for reconstruction and rebuilding of Afghanistan. I think it is a very great human thing that they are expected to contribute to that.
Yes, inshallah. And just looking at within Afghanistan, just one more point I'd like to make is we know that a lot in the Western analysts and the Western media has been focusing on the divisions in Afghanistan between ethnic groups and the like as well. And the key issue here at this point in time is the unity of all the Afghan people to recognize and to accept the fact that the Taliban is in power and the Taliban is the government of the day, Brother Suhail.
Yes, about ethnicities, all ethnicities are a part of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. For example, in the northern provinces, we have Badakhshan. They are Tajik ethnicities, but they are a great part of our security forces are coming from Badakhshan. And also in Faryab, Jozjan, they are Uzbek ethnicities. They are also members of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. They are making a major part of the Islamic Emirate. In the south, we have Pashtun ethnicity. So, Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is a combination of ethnicities. They are representing their different ethnicities in the country, and we have also in the government those who are Uzbek and Tajiks and also Pashtuns, Baluch. We have governors from Baluch ethnicity. So we believe in Islam. In Islam, there is anyone who is pious, more talented. He is the best one. We do not believe in color and ethnicity, but rather in piety, in equality, in justice.
Well, Jazakallah khairan so much for that. And obviously, coming right at the end of the show, joining us and to be part of the broadcast this evening, we wish you well, inshallah. Our du'as are with you. Our du'as are with the people of Afghanistan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan.
That was the voice of Taliban spokesperson Shaheen Suhail responding to Afghanistan and its non-involvement in a 9/11. Now, yesterday, we've seen quite an interesting statement come through from the Taliban saying that they are willing to establish relations with all nations except Israel, and saying that they are even willing to cooperate with the likes of the United States of America, but they are definitely not willing to work with Israel. And the statement that was made by Shaheen Suhail saying that there is absolutely no chance for ties with Israel because, of course, we won't have any relation with Israel. We want to have relations with other countries. Israel is not amongst these countries. Now, last month, there was an interview that was conducted by one of the public broadcasters in Israel who had basically duped Shaheen Suhail to do the interview because when Shaheen Suhail spoke with the journalist called Roy Case at Khan, which is the Israeli broadcaster, he named his network but did not tell Shaheen Suhail that he was Israel. So there he was basically duped with regard to the interview. But the Taliban obviously taking a very, very strong stance as far as Israel is concerned, saying that there will be no relationship with Israel. The time is headed for 8:30, and still to come on the show this morning. When we get back, we will be talking about Kashmiri journalists saying that harassment and threats by the police has increased after India had revoked Kashmir's semi-autonomous status. We'll be joined by Waqas Akram, who is a human rights activist and also media coordinator of Let Kashmir Decide.
Durban, KwaZulu-Natal has been the hardest hit by the recent civil unrest. Hundreds of supermarkets, factories and warehouses have been looted and destroyed. Thousands have lost their jobs and are in need of food and household supplies. Penny Appeal South Africa is currently on the ground working with communities to provide essential items to those severely affected. Donate toward the Penny Appeal Hardship Fund today.